Welcome back to another episode of Your Wichita Falls. And if you are sitting out buying a home because you think you can't, I'm going to tell you why that probably isn't the case. And so stay tuned because we're getting started right now. Hello, I'm Debbie Dobbins. I am your host for this episode of Your Wichita Falls, and I talk about all things Wichita Falls, how to live here, how to buy here, how to thrive here, how to start a business here. I mean, I love Wichita Falls, and you would guess that by watching this channel. And most people who want to buy a home aren't sitting on the sidelines because they don't want to buy. I know this because I've done this for so many decades. Here's the thing that might surprise you. They're sitting out because they think they can't. And I've heard this for decades, being in this industry for that long. And so many times the reason is credit. And if that's you and you're wondering whether buying a home is even realistic, stay tuned for this episode. I've got some really great information for you, but also grab your free Wichita Falls relocation guide. There's a link in the body of this video, and you can walk through what actually matters. Where do you want to be? Because I love Wichita Falls. So here is the big credit myth. According to a survey by Bank Rate, which I love surveys because they just give us an indication of what people are believing, 42% of Americans believe you need excellent credit to qualify for a mortgage. Excellent. And I'm going to tell you what that is in a second because it'll blow your mind. It blows my mind. So they surveyed renters and asked them why they don't own yet. And one answer comes up again and again and again. My credit isn't good enough. Oh, that's actually a fear tactic. But here's what I want you to pay attention to. If you've looked at your score and you felt discouraged because you heard something somewhere or you saw it on the internet and you assume that home ownership just isn't in the cards right now, think again. Because here's the part most people never hear. You don't need perfect credit to buy a home. I'm going to say that again. You don't need perfect credit to buy a home. And this is what kind of blew my mind a little bit because this statistic is that average buyers have strong credit. So that lends the credence to that statement. And so the Federal Reserve shows that the median credit score, which is the middle ground for home buyers, is around 775. That is crazy. 775. I don't even know if my credit score is that high because it's just shy of 800, which is the premium credit score. So the fact is that people clearly believe that you need to have a perfect credit score, and that's not true. And I have done so many loans in my life that there are just a handful of people. I don't know who these average people are. There's only a handful of people that were in that 775 credit score range, which is kind of crazy. That does not mean that that's required. As a matter of fact, that's completely the opposite. Because when you look at actual buyers, which I have done so many of them over the last, how many, 30 years? These are actual people, real people. About 10% purchased with credit scores around 660. So that's only 10% of the people. Think of all the people that are out there that have 660, 620, 580. I've done loans for people with 580s, but some were higher, some were lower. But if that's the median, everybody should be buying a house, which I say all the time. So, what does this mean? It means that if your score isn't where you want it yet, the door is not automatically closed, and you can always deal with that. As a matter of fact, in November 2025, Fannie Mae, who buys the majority of home mortgages, eliminated their minimum score of 620 because it's crazy. So many people fall into a category of below 620 because they had some bad life experience. The fact is that you could have one medical bill go to collection and completely destroy your credit, which we aren't even counting anymore. So this is what's so beautiful is that it just opens the doors for people to really understand that anybody basically can buy a house. So if you want help understanding what your number means in real terms, there's a Zoom link in the show notes so you can connect with me and ask me questions. I love answering questions. So here's why this confusion exists. A lot of buyers assume lenders all use the same hard cutoff, and they don't. I've been doing this for decades. There are so many different lenders that have so many different rules, that have so many different programs. That's the thing that you really want to understand is mostly anybody can get a loan. I've said that for 30 years. And even FICO, the big credit people in the sky, they actually said there is no single cutoff score used by all lenders. Each lender has their own strategy and considers additional factors beyond your credit score, which is cool because you can take into consideration your life experiences of why things happened to your credit. So, what does that translate for you? Credit score matters, but it's not the only factor. Your income, your debt, your job stability, your savings, and all of the loan programs, because there are many, play a role. That's why a conversation with a lender, me, is more powerful than guessing from Google or even chat, which I love chat. But why this is especially important for first time home buyers, this is the thing that I see is first time home buyers are often delaying for years trying to fix everything first. But you don't have to do that because so many buyers have not started the process because of credit. So start it now, and then you may actually qualify sooner than you expected. Live in your house before the end of 2026 is over. You can learn what actually needs attention when you start now because the interest rates are really prime for this. And you can create a realistic path forward, sometimes in months, not years. Here's the thing, you don't need to be perfect. You just need more accurate information. And if credit is the only thing stopping you, absolutely connect with a local lender or reach out to me. My contact info is in the show notes. Here is the bottom line. Your credit score is important, but it does not have to be perfect. If credit has been the reason you've been waiting to buy a home, let's talk. It may be time to take another look at your options, especially with the interest rates going in the way that they're going. You don't need to have everything figured out to start the conversation. So grab the Wichita Falls relocation guide in the body here or book a Zoom call with me. Links are in the description because sometimes clarity is the first step to ownership of your home. And as I always say, y'all come back now. Here.